Is up, sports fans? We are back for another episode of the Brotherly Love Podcast here on the Fantasy Sports Corporation. I'm your host, as always, Stephen Rochelle, and my brother to the right of me, Mr. Luther Broughton. Luther, how are we feeling after Sunday's games?
Crazy, right?
I mean, you got to have some excitement there. Obviously, there's some duds, but you know the. The Cleveland Browns are making a case and sitting there saying we're not going away. We're not going quietly into the night. And you said it a few weeks ago. Watch out for them Denver Broncos. They're not that bad. They might also be another team to keep an eye out in that AFC picture, right?
Yeah, it's interesting, especially the Browns, man, because the Browns obviously they have quarterback issues with the injuries, even with, and we're not going to ignore all the Deshaun Watson stuff, but let's talk about the present, right? The present is they've got a quarterback in Deshaun who hadn't played for a very long time. And he was clearly still showing a lot of rust. Last week, in the comeback win against Baltimore, you started to see more things, right? And what happens? He's injured. He hurts his shoulder, and they got to go to their backup quarterback, who is DTR. Guess who their backup quarterback was in the preseason? Josh Dobbs.
Right.
And they traded him to Arizona. And look at what Dobbs is doing now, which I know Cleveland wish they could have, but hindsight is 2020. But what Cleveland does, even with the quarterback situations, is they stop people from scoring. Their defense is really good. And if you can stop the other guy from scoring, man, you can win the game. That sounds like such a cliche and so simple, but listen, man, if you can keep the other team scoring 14 points and you can get 17, pretty simple math right there. You can win some games, and that's what they're doing. And I think they're going to continue to be good on defense, and we'll see how their quarterback position progresses. I can see those guys getting better as we go forward. And
Cleveland's overcome some big injuries. I mean, obviously, we all know, earlier in the season what happened to Nick Chubb. I mean, everyone's been hard on Watson this year, but they've been winning games. And listen, I think they only got 3 losses on the season, 7-3 now. They're in you couldn't ask to be in a better position despite all that.
Despite all that, that's the crazy thing. You mentioned Nick Chubb. It seems like it's been so long ago that we've even almost forgotten about the Nick Chubb situation, the Nick Chubb injury, and they've just adjusted, man. That's crazy how they're playing right now. Crazy good. I mean, they lost a 4-point game to the Steelers, and they lost a 4-point game to Seattle. They got blown out by the Ravens the first time, but look at their losses, man. That team could even be. You are what your record says you are. Let's just get that out of the way. But they could be freaking.
I just say it's the feel good story so far at the first half. Like seeing where we started the season, where it's like, all right, here we go again. This is the same old Cleveland curse. It just seems like every time they put together some pieces, it just injuries, something happens.
The crazy thing is they go to Denver next week. Speaking of Denver, the Cleveland goes to Denver next week. So, at Denver. They go to Denver next week. So that should be a good game, man.
Now, and I was talking a few weeks ago, team should be hitting the panic button. Seattle had another tough loss last night, and they got to play San Francisco twice in the next month. Should they be a team that should be a little bit worried, right?
Seattle, what are they? They're 6-4. They lost a close one to the Rams, man.
The Rams had a late, little late quarter magic.
Right, and their quarterback and running back is hurt. They're gonna play home against San Francisco next week. This week, this Thursday. They play home Thursday, and the quarterback and running back is hurt, so that's less days for them to get healthy. They look like they're getting ready to go to 6-5 right now, and then after that we play them, and hopefully we're ready to go.
And I think that they
They
also
play,
don't they
well,
still see
they
they,
don't play us next. They play San Francisco, Dallas, then
yeah,
San
that's what I'm saying. I was
Francisco
about to say Dallas is in there
again,
too.
and then us. So they've got a stretch there, kind of like we have going right now. They've got a tough stretch, and losing to the Rams is not a good way to start that stretch, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's yeah,
now
that's a
I
bad
know
loss.
everyone's talking about Eagles are at the top. The Lions, if we lose this game, the Lions are gonna be tied for the number one
Listen,
spot in
man.
the conference.
Listen, yesterday I'm tailgating at the Panthers Cowboys game. We had a ton of people from my hometown in town. So I was planning on tailgating until 1 and come home and watch the game. There were so many people there. I stayed until like 5 something. So I had a few beverages yesterday. Once I got home, I told you I was traveling. I got home, went straight there. Um, so I see the score, and I'm like, so is Chicago going to help us out? And I'm like pretty happy about it. And I get home and I'm like, what are you talking about? Great comeback by the Lions. Did they really win the game? And man, they've got a stretch here where they got the Packers, the Saints, the Bears, the Broncos, the Vikings, the Cowboys,
Dane
the
Campbell's
Browns.
got them believing down there in Detroit.
They've got a chance to overtake that 1 seed because we've got a stretch there where it's tough. I mean, it's hard to win football games. And we've got a stretch here where, obviously, cliche. You got to play each game individually. We can look at that the stretch of games, but the Eagles in that locker room, they're only focused on Kansas City right now. And that's who we have tonight in Kansas City. Extremely tough environment. We don't have Goddard. Our secondary is still iffy. And we're going against the best quarterback right now. I don't care what anybody says, regardless of they might not look like they used to look. They might not look like they were with obviously the speed of Tyreek Hill, but Patrick Mahomes just gets it done. And that's a scary place to play. Now, with that being said, they look vulnerable. They've looked vulnerable a few
Yeah,
times. They
they don't look
lost to
like
the
the team
Giants.
we seen back
I'm
in
sorry.
February.
Did
right?
I say the Giants? Yuck. They lost to the Lions. They beat the Jags by 1 score. They beat the Jets by 3. They beat the Vikings by 1 score. They beat the Broncos by 11. They beat the Dolphins by 1 score. They can be had, but we better be ready to play. You know what I'm saying? We better be ready to play. And I'm not much of a betting man. I certainly wouldn't put a lot of money on this game. It's a Kansas City -2.5 spread right now. I would stay away from this game because anything can happen, man. 2 really good teams.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm as betting wise. Yeah, I'll stay away from this game. Monday Night Football. Two teams who played within a score back in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Both teams don't quite look so as invincible as they seemed like they were last year. But
Mm-hmm.
that being said, they're both taking care of business with what's in front of them. Putting wins up, like you said. I think between the two of them, they're 15-3 this season.
Correct. And that's the thing. Just like you said, they're taking care of the business in front of him. Listen, I just talked about 1 score games, right? Or 1 point win or 3 point. Would you not have loved a 1 point win in the Super Bowl? I don't care how much you win by. You just want to score more than the other team. Now, I mentioned those scores to show that they're vulnerable, but to your point, they're taking care of the business in front of them. You just got to win the games. We've won some ugly ass games, but we've won
listen,
those
I don't
games.
care if we win an ugly one this one. if you take care of the ball this week, you take care of business. I know we're banged up. I know we haven't played as well on the back end defensively as we have last year, but Jalen's got the brace is off. He seems to be almost back to 100%. You get Cam back. You get a little bit depth back there in the secondary. From what you're hearing around, media wise, is that we're going to see a different defensive look come the second half of the season. I don't know what that means. We'll find out.
I don't know what that means.
Come tonight's game.
Right. So you know how it is. Long season. We're midway through. We just came off of a bye week.
Yeah, but here comes the bye talk.
That's the
right?
time where coaches come in and they make most of the adjustments, which is what you want to see. If you're going to play the way we played, where us crazy fans are bitching about everything, and we're just fans, but we're not blind. We can see the back end needs some adjustments, right? The bye week is when you do that. You've got 2 whole weeks plus a Sunday, because we're playing on Monday, to try to make some. You do self-study. They do a lot of self-study to try to see what can we do. What have we been doing wrong this entire time? But more importantly, what have we done well? Let's do more of this. So we're going to see tonight. The some of the adjustments, and
they're going to be tested, right?
And listen, it's not, and I'm not preparing myself for a loss, right? I'm not that guy. But it's not the end of the world to lose a football game unless it's the freaking last game of the season. Losing football games to good teams, like, they suck, they hurt, but it happens, right? But I want to see the adjustments we make. I want to see how we play tonight. And yeah, I'm thinking we're going to win this game on the road, because I think we're a good football team, but we'll see. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. I can't wait to see the adjustments. That's what I want to see.
I do want to see you've been screaming for some adjustments on that back end literally since week 2, man.
Yeah. And I'll say it time and time and time again, right? I'm not a know-it-all. I don't know it all, but we're not blind. I'm not going to scream that I know it all. If that was the case, I'd be the damn defensive coordinator or somebody, right? But good grief, we're not blind, bro. You can see them with all this off coverage and soft coverage. And I talked about that Washington game, giving up that score to put the game into overtime. We're off coverage on 4th down with no time left. And we allowed a guy to just walk into the end zone and turn around and catch the ball.
When you got 2 of the bigger and 2 of the top 10 corners, man, let them get some hands on these guys within the first 5 yards to try to knock them off route, man. At least.
especially on these 3rd and 7s or whatnot, and we're 9 yards
they're coming out quick because of how our line play is. They're coming out quick because of that, right? So, play to your strengths, guys. That's what you did last season.
Man.
Right?
Yeah. But I'm not going to cry about something that hasn't happened
let's
yet.
not cry about being 8-1, right?
I ain't gonna cry about something that hasn't happened yet. I want to see us make some improvements and get this defense going in the second half of the year. Can't wait, man.
I mean, I'm excited for the second half. I'm excited for the gauntlet we're about to go see. I mean, obviously, Kansas City is nothing to shy away at.
They're the champs,
I think
man.
Buffalo is starting to come unraveled, in my opinion. It still doesn't mean that they're not going to be a tough task coming here to Lincoln Financial Field. You still got San Francisco. Obviously, they beefed up their defense a little bit. Their rotation kind of looks like what we've been doing the last few years on their defensive front. So you have to play well up front on the offensive line and take care of business there. They're still a dangerous team, regardless if you think Brock Purdy's the next coming to Joe Montana or if he's the next Steve DeBerg. It doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
He still has them winning games. He puts them in winning situations.
Absolutely, because they're winning. They're winning games. They're winning games, and they have a really good defense who had a stretch there where they weren't playing well. But guess what? You see them you see them coming together as they're healthy, bro.
Especially when they get some of them, like I said, like they've been missing, Debo for some games. They've been missing weapons on offense. They just, obviously Purdy getting banged up a little bit there too as well. So like, we cheer that they're not battling us for the number one spot, but there's still somebody to keep your ears and eyebrows perked for, because they're going to be a test when we play them. And even going back down there, Dallas. Yeah, we won a tough game there. They always punch back, Dallas. So
man, Dallas is a good football team. I just hate their fans. I mean,
exactly.
I'll be honest,
and it's not even the knowledgeable fans that know what's going on. It's these idiots that literally just run out every year.
Every year, they're going to win the Super
Bowl. They're going to do like those knuckleheads. And we have pocket of fans in our own fan base. Like we don't recognize these idiots, right? We all have them.
We all have them, but it's just so annoying that every year they win one preseason game and they go, "This is our year." And it's exhausting. It's exhausting.
I'll listen to that when it's in the regular season and they beat one of the quote unquote elite teams, in a spectacular fashion. They haven't done that in some time.
They haven't done that in a while.
They've been the schoolyard bully for the last 10 years, picking on the weak teams and pumping their chest out like they're King Kong. But when they come to a equal or better talent, they do the Dallas Cowboy thing.
And what happens is they poop the bed, just like they did against us. They had us beat. You're first and goal at the 6. How do you?
They had us dead to rights.
You get sacked and you have a false start. How does that happen, bro? I was like,
it was like penalty, sack, bad play.
I was already like extremely pissed because I had to deal with. I'm like, man, I got to deal with these people for 3 weeks until we go back to Dallas, and they decide that they're just going to be Dallas and lose the game.
I want to get your thoughts on this one. I don't know if you heard about this one this week, that the Eagles had finally cut Bernard Williams. He was one of their rookie linemen that they drafted at the end of the Kotite era. Played one season, was suspended the following season for marijuana use, and never reached back out to reinstate. He played in the CFL, played in the XFL, and for some oversight reason, he's spent the last 29 years on the suspended list.
That's crazy.
Oh, you're frozen up there, Luther. All right, and we're back.
Hey, sorry about that, man. I had a device malfunction, but we were talking about Bernard Williams, right?
Yes, sir. Crazy 29 years. How does that happen?
I don't know, man. It must have been some type of oversight or something. That was kind of funny. I saw the story this week, and I was like, what?
So I'm sitting there thinking, well, wait a minute. Technically, he was part of the roster in 2017, so don't they owe him a ring?
He should get a Super Bowl ring, right?
Right. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to
I
help the
guess
man out, right?
I guess technically, since he was on the suspended list, he's not a part of the roster. That's what the Eagles are going to say. So that's kind of funny, though. That is really
I
funny
mean,
that
they
showed
gave
up.
what was it? Who's the annoying media member who was toting it around? Howard
Hopefully, it's
Eskin. They gave Howard
uh,
Eskin a ring. They
Howard
gave
got a
Howard
ring. Man, I want one. Shoot.
because he's been. I guess he was a sideline reporter and was technically a part of the Eagles staff. Whatever.
Interesting.
Just makes that man
Interesting.
more pompous, but that's just me.
That's funny. That
Now,
guy.
speaking of which, I thought guys had learned their lesson after Deshaun Jackson, but apparently college football was having multiple guys do the.
Bro, what's with that? The
I mean, that's what we
Washington
call
guy was the
Deshaun,
worst.
Deshaun Jackson enough for that one, right?
Yes, dude, the Washington guy was just so bad. And like that game was on, that's a huge game for them. Like, how do you do that, bro? Bro, take the ball into the end zone. Like, seriously, you don't look cool. You don't look cool, man. This whole dropping the ball, you don't look cool, bro. It's not
I
cool.
would rather see a guy do like the backflip into the end zone so you know
I
you
hate
got
that
in.
too. I absolutely hate that. You see guys doing the crazy backflip and landing all hard on their like, dude, run into the damn end zone. I hope I don't sound like a curmudgeon or whatever, however you pronounce that. Like, dude, man, just run into the end zone. You can celebrate. Celebrate after you get into the end zone. Stop doing
Complete the
that
process
stupid
first, right?
drop, that dropping the damn ball, man. Stop dropping the damn ball before you get to the end zone. That's just dumb.
Oh man.
Like, I don't care what anyone says. That's just dumb, bro.
Now, were you surprised leading into this week that Sam Howell was leading the league in passing yards?
No, we talked about that. Remember, he's lighting it up. They stink record-wise, but we talked about that like 3
They
weeks
got
ago
a quarterback.
before we
got a
played
quarterback.
Washington. I was
Yeah.
like, look, dude, you know we're soft in the secondary, and Howell isn't a chump. I am surprised he's leading the league. Like, to answer your question, I'm going to not acting like I know it all. I'm surprised he's leading the league, but we talked about this a couple weeks ago that
He got
look,
a quarterback, yeah.
he might be okay.
He might be like the second coming of like Kirk Cousins there in Washington.
No, I hope he's not that good though. I don't want him
I
to
mean,
be
I'm
that
with you
good.
there, but he's starting to look a little bit like it.
As a Washington guy, I don't want him to be that good.
I know Eagles fans were cheering when the news is coming out that Mr. Kelly might be finally done there in UCLA.
Right, at least until and then
might be throwing a party now.
Then they went out and embarrassed USC. Maybe that guy is the one that needs to be fired. Is Lincoln Riley a fraud? Like, seriously, I know he rode the back of some Heisman quarterbacks, but is he a fraud, bro?
They haven't beaten
Seriously.
anyone good. Like they were just sitting there saying that about Caleb Williams. Like they play any of the top teams or whatever. Like Caleb hadn't showed up.
I really don't think Caleb is the problem. I know people want to bash him because he won the Heisman, and somebody put out a lie earlier this season saying that he wanted part ownership of the team, and that kid never said that. And that story has been debunked. And people when you get up on a pedestal, everyone wants to knock you down. That's what happens, and that's what people are doing to that kid. I don't think Caleb Williams ever played a down a defense for the University of Southern Cal. And as a matter of fact, I don't think anyone at Southern Cal has played it down the defense. They don't defend anyone, bro. They don't defend, bro. They don't defend, bro. And everybody wants to knock that dude. Listen, I'm not some huge Caleb Williams fan or whatnot, but come on, man. They're killing that boy for no reason.
Yeah, they are. They just throwing shade to throw shade.
Hmm.
And not to throw any shade, but I don't know if you heard, but Leighton Vander Esch's career might be over.
Yeah, man. As soon as you put that picture up there, man, that blows, man.
Listen, I'm not one they say us Philly fans love to cheer this stuff, right? Well, let me tell you something. I had buyer's envy when they drafted the kid because he plays linebacker like you would want anyone to play linebacker for you, right? And
Right.
the other thing is the hit. A lot of people said Trent Williams' hit was dirty. The hit that knocked him out, that looks like it could potentially end his career.
Wait, well, his neck was already hurt, but what I didn't see the hit.
It was like
Uh,
he was already being like blocked, and Trent just cleaned it up. You know what I mean? Like he tore
so
him out
how
of
is
the play.
that dirty? The only reason people are saying that's dirty
Just because
is
it's
because
Trent
he got
Williams.
hurt. And it's because he got hurt.
Yeah.
Like that type of thing, like that's frustrating for me because fans like that's why last week I mentioned that it was hard for me to call the tackle on Goddard dirty. It didn't look good. I excuse me, I
And
don't know
then
if I've seen a
more
tackle
along
like
the
that.
lines, people are talking about the hip drop tackle might be getting taken out of the NFL
And
because
right, because Mark Andrews got hurt. But tell me, did you watch that tackle? How was that a hip drop tackle? He came flying into the plate and tackled him. I love Mark Andrews. I'm trying to figure out how was that a hip drop tackle? It looks like to me he flew into the guy and tackled him.
like I
I
get you
don't
want to
know
protect some of the
what
stars
was
and stuff like that, and I agree with you. I don't think that particular play that they're calling it was one, but it's one of these things like where you already make this league an offensive sport. You've taken so much away from the
you.
the physicality of the defensive side of the sport. It's
Mhm.
really hard because you have these athletes who are really hard to get to the ground, and you're going to sit there and say, "Well, we're going to take this away too from you guys."
Yeah, man. I'm not
I'm
going to
not saying this
disagree
ain't
with
needs to
you.
be used on
Listen,
every play and things of
I
that nature.
am an offensive guy. I obviously would want everything to go my way, but I can't disagree with you, dude. I can't disagree with you.
I love the offense.
I
I love the
can't sit up
scoring
here
too,
and
but I
disagree with
also
you.
love a good defense that can prevent you from getting your 10 yards and four, man.
Yeah.
That's what the sport is built on. If you
No,
can do it, then yeah. But if
then
you're
yeah.
you've taken so much away from the defense.
Listen,
Listen,
man,
in the
if
past
you
30 years,
can
they've taken so much away.
if you can make the game safer, I get that. I get trying
Yeah,
to
I
do
do.
that, bro.
I
I
do.
get that. But when you just look at all the things, it's like, guy, how is he supposed to do that? Even some of the offensive players, they're flipping it now. They're trying to even it up, and they're finding running backs for running low, for dropping their shoulders. What? It's like they want them to run in the hole, standing up straight, and get destroyed. And I'm usually not speechless, but you watch some of these fines for these running backs, and you're like, you're stealing from them. You're stealing from them. The game doesn't last long. Careers don't last long. I'm not crying for guys that's making $10 million a year, but that's the price you pay for NFL players. That because the money is out there. The money is there. The players are going to share in the money, and you're stealing money from those guys. I don't care what anybody says. You watch those fines, and I say they're stealing money from those guys.
Well, the one
Look,
that
DeAndre
DeAndre Swift
look
got
at
hit
the
with this season was ridiculous.
who?
The one that
Dude,
Swift got hit
it
with.
started with Swift. Now look at Josh Jacobs. He's got fined twice in 2 weeks. Go find those videos and look at them and tell me how that's fair to him. Bro, it was third and short. He runs in the hole, lowers his shoulders, and runs forward, and they find that kid. Like, I think it was his second one, so it was like $58,000 or something like that. Bro, there's no way that's right. No way. No how. No way that's right. No way. No way you can convince me that that's the right thing to do.
Some of these kids just need to fight it and set the precedent. Like,
but there's nothing you could do. They just fine you and they take that out of your check, bro. You can appeal the fine, but the decision comes from the league. There's no third party decision maker. The decision comes from the league. And it sucks, man.
Well, things like that, I think that there should be another process for some of these guys, because some of it, like, you understand, but then there's some of the stuff like me and you were talking about some of the stuff now. It's like, dude, what are we talking about?
What are we talking about?
Yeah. That's what it boils down. Like, what are we talking about? Like, you know, like you're sitting there saying like excessive celebration or something like this, or some not like some of the stuff is just it's getting beyond me. Like, you know, and we've seen it throughout. Like, you can't wear these visors, you can't wear these shoes, you can't wear like. Come on, guys.
It's funny, man, and I'm glad, like, it's not like I'm glad it's not me getting hit with these fines, because you feel like helpless. There's nothing you can do about it. It happens, and they go, "Oh well," and you're like, "What? What do you mean, oh well? What do you mean, oh well? Like, why should I be fined for this?" But it is what it is, man.
It is, and with every sport, there's stuff that you love about what the league does for it and does for the players, and then there's parts of it like you guys need to do better here. We talk about
it. Yeah, absolutely. We're not saying like.
Oh no, we're not like dumping on the NFL. It's just like there's pros and cons with it all, and I think just hopefully when they have the winter meetings at the end of the year, they clean some of this stuff up, because like you said, they are stealing money from these guys. It's not this isn't excessive here, that's not excessive there. Like some of these fines, you're looking at them, it's like, well, what happened? That looks like a normal play.
What happened? That looks like a normal play, bro. So.
I don't know what else to say. Man. Like when I don't know what else to say. The DeAndre Swift play, I'm like, it looks like a normal play and tackle. What do you mean?
I don't know what there's this dude. The fines for tackles are those are the frustrating ones. I'm sorry, the fines for the running backs, like just running and lowering their shoulder.
Yeah, it's like what are we talking about?
What are we talking about, man?
You're talking about an offensive player putting his head down and getting more yards, not the defensive players that are normally taking their heads off, knocking their legs out from underneath them. Oh, wait, I got you. That's right. That makes sense.
Right. That makes sense.
with the way everything goes in the world today, that makes sense.
Right.
Oh man. But as we get ready to wrap it up, I am really excited for tonight's matchup, man. It's the rematch, Chiefs, Eagles, prime time. Couldn't ask for a better setup there. Again, we already talked about the adjustments on defense. I really want to see. Hopefully, we get to see a healthy Jalen. We can get to see them not running too much RPO and design runs with them in unnecessary situations. Even though he is getting healthy, I want to see a little bit more of 2020 Jalen tonight.
I don't know if you're gonna get that with that bad knee, man.
Yeah, I know. We don't. But see, again. What I mean by 2020 is the guy that moves the pocket around. He doesn't necessarily have to run and hurt you for a big 15, 20 yarder down the field where he doesn't really have to.
Yeah, I get it.
He hits you with the thought of running, and that's what breaks it off.
Right. But that's part of it. That's part of what I'm saying is I don't know. He doesn't have the same lateral movement right now because he's hampered. That's what I'm saying. Not that I get what you're saying, and I want a little bit more of that. I just we talked about earlier. I mentioned, why does he look like he's running so slow? And now we know. Yeah.
He's had a bone bruise for the better part of a month, and he's been playing through it, getting it cracked and hit on the whole time.
Yeah. So,
You
but
know,
yeah, man, I tend to agree, though. I tend to agree. I would like to see. Hold on a second. I would like to see him getting a little bit more loose in the pocket in the open field.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's still doing great passing from the pocket, but he looks so stiff, man.
And it's probably injury. That's probably an
No, I
injury.
do. I agree that it is.
Yeah.
But Cam's back. Hopefully, what the numbers say is we get another 40 plus yards rushing per game. Is what the numbers looks like when he's in.
And I hope that's the case, bro.
Because then you get the death punch back. And what I mean by the death punch is meaning your ability to control the clock through the ground and just being able to maul guys.
Yep.
And that's what was really prevalent through those first 4 weeks in that running game. They were able to have these like almost like 20 play drives that took up almost 10 minutes. That things like that is just something you need, especially getting into the latter part of the season.
Right.
Being able to wear defense down, wear guys
being
down,
able to wear defense. I was just about to say that,
figuratively and figuratively,
because Kansas City's defense has been
solid. They got
son.
beef. Their defense is not their issue right now. Their issue is on the other side of the ball right now.
And I hope we can continue to make them be messy on offense, man, because I don't want them to starting to get that going against us, because we know how our secondary has been.
And one last thing I want to bring up, I don't know if you've seen this, but our boy Hollis Thomas got a tee coming out.
Oh, that's my guy, Tank, man.
Yeah, man.
So if Hollis has a tee coming out, I'm gonna grab that T-shirt.
Yeah, for people who don't know, that's the art history guys. He's gonna be doing a meet and greet December 1st. There at up here in the Northeast is gonna be I think it's 70. I think it's 70. I think it's 74. 7540 Frankfurt Ave.
Gotcha.
So.
Tank, man, that's my dude.
I love to see Tank getting some love, man.
Yeah, man, that's my guy right there, man. I love that dude. One of my great teammates, him and Hugh.
Definitely want to let let the people know. You know, I always got to show Tank love, man. He's an awesome dude.
Yeah, that's my dude, man. You better show Tank some love. Crazy ass.
He is literally since his retirement, he's been the life of Philadelphia media, if you really ask me.
He's fun. I'll say that. that dude is fun, man.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I was lucky enough over the summer. Took my son to a seminar he was doing with McMillan.
Oh yeah. I thought there were times I went back and forth about coming up for that, but I had some things going on. But next year I'm gonna try to get out for McMillan's thing.
Shoot, if you're coming up for that, I'll definitely help. Tank, Damien, and the guys freaking promote that.
Mm-hmm.
Get some fun football stuff going this summer. But that's that's like almost like 6-7 months away.
That's a while away. Hopefully we get a Super Bowl in between now.
Yeah. Get some fun stuff going, but my last thoughts, I'm gonna go. It's gonna be close to that spread. I think it's gonna be within a score.
Yeah, I think so. Too.
It may be 3 points, it may be 4 points, whatever. But
just don't put any money on it.
Yeah, definitely not. I see some people got last legs that are parlays waiting on tonight's game. I'm like, ooh, I hope it better not be involved with the spread. It better be prop bet. You better be waiting for like AJ Brown will score a touchdown or something.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's one of my buddies a few weeks ago put money on the Miami college game where they screwed up and didn't take a knee at the end, and his whole weekend was ruined. And I just
This is
can't see
why I don't
myself
bet.
putting that much,
This is why I
putting my,
don't bet.
like I've bet before, I'll bet every now and then or what have you, but man, people are really like, hey, I'm not mad at you. That's your money. Man, that seems like a lot of stress over something voluntary.
Yeah, man. But
Yeah.
I see it's gonna be like 37-34. I think it's gonna be a punch for punch game.
Yeah, I don't even know I don't even know what I want to what
Where
I'd
you
say
want to throw
about
the
this
number
one.
at?
Like
Listen, I don't think as much as people say they think it's gonna be a
I don't think
defensive
it's
match.
going to
I
be
don't
high
think it is.
scoring. I think it's going to be more of a sloppy game. More defenses are going to step up, and I think it's going to be
Say like
more of a sloppy, lower
27-17 or like
scoring game.
21-17.
I think the over under is like 44.5, man. I think we go under.
They both just have too much on offense for like Kelsey's getting in there. Mahomes getting at least 2. So that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
I don't know, man. You know how it gets on a man. Who knows what that
And it's
weather's
Monday
going to be
night,
like?
man. These boys always show out. Been off a bye.
Yeah.
That's why I say I think it's gonna be a punch for punch game.
Yeah, man. I just get one more point in there. That's all I want.
That's all that matters to me.
That's all I want.
I don't care if we get a last second Jake Elliott field goal taking us to a 20-17 win. It
That's fine
matter
too.
not to me.
That's fine too. That's certainly fine with me.
Yeah. Other than that, I think that'll do it for this week. I know me and Luther are going to be back pretty soon on a quick turnaround, considering this is Monday night.
Yep.
And it's gonna be a fun one, guys. Make sure you tune in. Everyone be safe. And if we don't
Happy
get a chance to
Thanksgiving.
get it on now, everyone have a happy Thanksgiving too.
Travel safe, drive safe, eat a lot, man.
Absolutely.
Well, not too much, but enjoy your family, please.
Enjoy the family. Enjoy the holiday.